Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I've been using the Samsung Galaxy A32 right here, the 4G LTE model, for about one full year since August 2021, and I've been using this guy for about a week with the new Android 12 4.1 One UI, the One UI 4.1. And so I wanted to talk about my experience after about a week of using this device with the Android 4 One UI 4.1 after 1 week, because it's been pretty solid. And that's what the A23 and A13 have out of the box. So it was pretty exciting that Samsung decided to put this software on their older 1 year later device. And so the A32 has kind of been refreshed, been revamped, and there's a lot of things I really like about this device. And I'm going to get into the display as well as the battery life. I'm also going to be talking about the performance and the cameras. So make sure you guys stay to the end of the video, because you don't want to miss any details about me and my experience with this device after about a week with the new software update. So I know a lot of people had questions about the 4G model and the 5G model. They wanted to know when the update was coming out worldwide, but Samsung has promised this update to all the users around the world, so you won't have to worry. I just don't have an exact date, but if I was to guess, it wouldn't come any later than late June and maybe early July for all regions around the world. So it should be reaching all of the devices worldwide within about that time frame. I would say the latest early July, but the earliest you might get it is probably like mid-June, you know what I'm saying? So one of the things I wanted to talk about is the build quality starting off with this device. Now just keep in mind, it does have that headphone jack, Type-C for charging, which is really quick, and it does have a single firing speaker on the bottom of here. So it's going to give you a pretty decent charging speed when it comes down to the charging. It's going to give you a pretty decent fast charging speed. So we're getting a 5,000 milliamp hour, which is going to last all day long. And this guy has a plastic frame on here. When it comes to the design, it's got that really nice camera set up on the back, which is really solid. It looks really good when you're looking at this device on the back. It's got the quad camera setup. We have a 64 megapixel on the back, 8 megapixel ultra wide angle, 5 megapixel portrait and 5 megapixel macro, as well as a 20 megapixel on the front. Now, as far as the glass that they used, we do have scratch resistant glass on here. I think it's Gorilla Glass 5 on here, if I'm not mistaken. But the fingerprint sensor as well is located on the front of the display, and I did re-enter my fingerprint. One of the subscribers suggested that I remove my old fingerprint and get the just add in another fingerprint. So I did that, and I did notice a bit of a difference on here when it comes to the speed. You could hold it there for about a second and there will be a bit of a delay, but as long as you put your finger dead center on the phone and hit the in-display fingerprint sensor, it will work pretty quick. So I was enjoying that part. I also like the fact that this thing does have an AMOLED panel, so you can use the always on display panel on here, as well as when you're getting your notifications, you could have it so that it's always on, or you could tap to get it on. So that a lot of different things are offered here that I want to get into in a little bit more detail. But as far as the top, we're getting a microphone up top, microphone down below. We also have a extra portion here which houses 2 nano SIM slots with an extra additional SD card slot, so you can expand the storage up to 512, I believe, gigabytes, which is going to be pretty solid for people who take a lot of photos and videos on their device. It's going to you're going to be able to max it out to a really good level. So I really like this device when it comes to the overall build quality. And one thing that I just want to point out is that it does have a really good size to it. It's 6.4 inches. so it's going to fit extremely well in your hand, and it's got a decent weight to it. It's about 184 grams of weight, so it's not too heavy. Like the A23 is actually 195 grams of weight, so it's a bit heavier, but this is more of a lightweight phone and also smaller in the hand, so it's actually going to fit your hand a little bit more comfortably. So you could definitely use this for the one-handed mode, or you could use it for, you know, just typing with one hand. It feels really comfortable when I'm using this device. So as far as the other parts about the build quality, it has like a squared off look to it all around, but then the edges are rounded. So they've kind of done that with the A23 as well. They've done that with that one, but the A13 has that same similar shape too. So they all are getting that similar shape and design, which is going to be pretty solid. Now I want to get into the internals in just a second, so make sure you stay locked in, right? But if you're still here, make sure you comment down below and say I'm still here and hashtag, so that I know that you're still kicking it with me, still chilling with me, right? But let's just get into the overall picture quality, okay? So that 64 megapixel shooter on the back is going to be really solid and vivid when it comes to details on most images. And I didn't have a single issue when I was using the camera. There was a bit of a shutter lag, but it's gotten quicker with this device, so it's not as bad as it was when it was first released out of the box. Now I'm running on the April security patch on this device, and one of the things I noticed is when I do take pictures with the wide or the 64 megapixel or the 8 megapixel, I had no issues whatsoever. Beautiful front facing portrait shots on the 20 megapixel portrait shooter as well, and then the macro cam, which is 5 megapixel, and the bokeh lens, which is 5 megapixel, are going to be coupled and paired along with this camera set, so they all kind of work together. And I'm going to leave some samples right now so you can see the photos and, you know what I'm saying, the videos as well. So let me just pause the video so you can see some of the image quality right here coming up right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is how it would look if I was walking with the A32 in my hand. So let me know how the front facing camera is. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the front-facing camera on the Samsung Galaxy A32. There's a lot of flies, like little small gnats around me. I guess because it's about to be a thunderstorm out here, but I'm just going to show you guys how it looks on the front-facing camera. Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm just walking with the A32 right now. I'm going to actually see how the autofocus is right here. Actually some pretty good detail, and the autofocus, you can see, kicks in right there. So actually some pretty good detail. Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is the rear facing camera on the Samsung Galaxy A32 4G LTE. So let me know how the cameras are picking up. Does offer, you know, some pretty decent video quality. You will get full HD 30 frames per second as well as 720 as well. So they did put some new toggles on the notification drop down menu. We also have NFC on here, music share, live transcript mode. You can add a few other options like caller text on other devices, ultra data savings mode. You could put your live caption as well as syncing all your stuff on here. They have a button for that. You could turn that off whenever you don't want it to be on. Secure folder and smart view, but you don't get you know, the Bixby, not the Bixby, you don't get the DeX, the Samsung DeX on here, but you won't get 4K recording. But they do have some really good shooting modes on here, like slow motion, food, panorama, macro, pro mode for photos, night mode for nighttime shots, and hyperlapse, which is not going to be on the A13 or the A23. So So the best thing about this device is that it has that AMOLED panel, which is going to stand out from the A13 and A23 when it comes to the always on display, because that feature, that always on display feature, is going to be missing. You're also going to notice deeper blacks as well. So like I said, the design of this device is going to fit really good in the hand, and in most cases you won't need a case, no pun intended. But if you were rocking a case, I would recommend this one right here, which is the Spigen case that I've been using on here to protect it. It has a nice textured button on here, and it will give you some additional grip just in case you wanted to have that on this device. So it has all the cutouts detailed on here, which is going to basically be really good for this device. Now let's just jump into the overall gaming. And first, before we jump into the gaming, I just want to mention that this is a 90 hertz panel, so you're going to get extremely smooth refresh rates when you're doing social media as well as web browsing and things of that nature. 1080 by 2400 with 411 pixels per inch with 2.5D curved glass with the Infinity U-drop notch on here, which is definitely going to be pretty solid overall. But there is a plastic feel to this device, and I think that's actually better than having glass, because if the phone drops, you won't have to worry about the back of the phone cracking. In most cases it'll just dent or chip, right? Just keep that in mind, okay? But like I said, let's jump into the gaming now. So the gaming for PUBG, this is one of my favorite games. Even Genshin Impact is going to be extremely smooth, and I can't emphasize that enough. I was pretty much getting higher mid-range quality when it came to the gaming on the Helio G80 12 nanometer processing chip, clocked in at 2 gigahertz. So this is one of the best gaming experience I've ever experienced on a phone under $300. It's got extreme graphics as well, so you're gonna get some really smooth frame rates on here with the ARMOLED G52 2EE MC2, 4 gigabytes of RAM coupled with 128 internal storage. So I really like the configuration on this device. You get facial unlock on here too, so if you did decide you wanted to unlock the phone, that's gonna work every single time. It just worked first try without any sweat. It didn't break a sweat, and it's very reliable when it comes to that feature. So I really like the performance when it comes to the gaming. I really like the cameras. I really like the build quality. The battery life is also another thing that I really like about this. It's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and I've been using this device since early in the morning, and it's at 44%, and it's 9:43 p.m. right now. So basically you're gonna get some really good battery life on this device. When I go into my battery and I just check for the screen on time, it's basically gonna give you at least 6 to 8 hours screen on time, in some cases more, depending on what type of user you are when it comes to data consumption and just like, you know, overall what apps you're using. But I watch a ton of YouTube. I watch a ton of, I listen to a lot of Spotify on my device, and I browse, you know, social media apps, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, you know, all those type of things. I might even use, you know, Google Duo or WhatsApp to do some voice chats with, right? But let me know which voice chat app you use. Do you use Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or Duo, or anything else? Let me know. I'm curious to know that. But so far, after using the One UI, it's really smooth. You have your sidebar, which in most cases works pretty well. But just keep in mind that if you have a case that covers the lip, it's going to be harder to get to the side edge. So I just want to mention that. But I kind of figured it out. You got to put your finger right on top of the side edge and then swipe, and then it will work about 90% of the time, okay? Also, this thing does have really good one-handed operation, which is something that I did notice, and it's very smooth. It's gotten a lot smoother and bug-free since the time I took it out of the box, so I did notice that. I really like the fact that this thing has a lot of features like Dolby Atmos, NFC, Smart View for screen sharing, and also it has the microphone access, so when you're using the microphone, the green light will come up and appear at the top, which is new for Android 12 as well. But everything just seems to be the same. Floating window is a cinch, because all you have to do is just go to your recent apps and drag to the center, and you're going to notice you can actually sort through your your floating window very easily, and it works really smooth when you're using the side navigation bar as well. So there's just a lot of things to like about this device after the 1 week that I've had it running on the new software. I think it's extremely customizable. It just feels really smooth. You can also tailor the side navigation bar right here and add different things to it. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm liking that Samsung is doing, especially with their older phones. They're keeping them up to date. But after about a week of using this device, I have really no complaints whatsoever. I'm really enjoying the software. So if you do get that update notification for the One UI 4.1 Android 12, I would highly recommend you to download it. But it's your boy Cyrano. I'm going to get right back with you. I'm going to show up in the comment section to wrap up this video, but I'm going to answer all your questions down below. So make sure if you found this video helpful, show your support by hitting the like button, because every single like helps the channel. We try to beat the YouTube algorithm by hitting 30 likes in the first day, okay? But I'm going to get right back with you. Make sure you watch another video coming up right now, and I'll check you guys later. But make sure you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and depending on where you are, have a great night. Later, crew. Peace.